We know who the next president of Nigeria will be, but Muhammadu Buhari's ability to govern effectively depends on a different round of elections. Nigeria's newspaper This Day reports that regional elections will have a decisive impact. The two major parties, Buhari's All Progressives Congress and Jonathan's People's Democratic Party, are vying for control. Well, let's go back to Arise News correspondent Sara Firth in Port Harcourt. Sara, are the state elections across the country peaceful right now?
Well, by and large, yes, although historically it's the gubernatorial, these state elections that tend to be more violent, and we have seen pockets of violence during this final stage in the election process here in Nigeria. Now, we're outside the offices of the Independent National Electoral Commission here in Port Harcourt, and this is actually the capital of Rivers State. Now, this is a key battleground area. It's one of the majorly fought for states, and that's because the governors of states such as Rivers, such as Lagos, they have huge budgets allocated to them, and so whoever gets the governorship seat in those states has massive political clout, and this has been one of the areas considered a flashpoint area. You can feel the tension bubbling under the surface as the process has gone on. We're actually going to try and show you a bit of what's going on the ground here. You've got a large security presence that has turned out as this process has been unfolding, and at the moment the Independent National Electoral Commission, they're working through the collation of the votes, and that's a painstaking process. All eyes are on this. It's not the big international headlines of the presidential elections, which of course happened a few weeks ago, going to the opposition candidate, now President-elect Muhammadu Buhari. But these gubernatorial elections, incredibly important. It's where you're going to see the power divvied up. The APC, they're going to want to really solidify that win they had a couple of weeks ago. And the PDP, who lost out in the presidential elections, they're going to want to be clawing back as much power as possible. Rivers State is actually a PDP stronghold. Whether they can deliver again has yet to be seen, but the gubernatorial process is incredibly pivotal here in Nigeria. And as we said, a large security detail out on the streets to just try and keep those tensions calmed below the surface, and hopefully the whole process can also go off as peacefully as the presidential elections.
Okay, Sara Firth reporting live from Port Harcourt in Nigeria. Sara, thank you so much for that comprehensive report. And we want to come back to Professor Okome here from Brooklyn College. Buhari apparently is campaigning on behalf of his party there. I would assume he's very influential. He should be, since he won this election, even though it was kind of tight. I guess the question I want to ask you, Professor, is what are some of the key issues here that they're going to have to focus on in getting these governors and these appointees into these positions?
Actually, you know, some of the news I've seen on social media and newspaper reports claim that about 19 states are, you know, going for APC and 11 for PDP. I think Buhari has campaigned for the APC governorship candidates. So has his running mate, the vice president-elect, you know, and Lagos State is especially a battleground state into which both parties have thrown a whole lot of resources because of Lagos's power, and, you know, it's a mega city, it's a major economic powerhouse in the country. You know, some of the news I heard, I'm born in Lagos, is that APC has won in Lagos. I don't, that hasn't been probably verified by INEC. INEC is a good broker in this election. You know, we have a very level-headed and trustworthy person, Professor Atahiru Jega, leading INEC, and I think that the results of the elections would be credible.
I'll tell you, battleground states almost sounds like a race here in the United States. There's a lot of similarities, I guess, when it comes to politics all over, but we've run out of time here. Of course, we thank you for your insight, and of course, we're going to have you come back. This is not going away. Professor Mojubaolu Okome from Brooklyn College, thank you for joining us.
Thank you very much.
All right.